Alright, so what's the next episode I gotta review?
He's my schmoopy doopy sweetie weetie pony pie.
You're my schmoopy doopy sweetie weetie pony pie.
Nope, we're done here. Nope, I'm not reviewing. Nope, I'm not reviewing this episode. No. I cannot believe I'm about to do this episode. But I made a promise that I was going to make it through all of Season 2. And damn it, I'm going to make it through Season 2. Hello everyone, I'm Keenan47, aka Wolfkeen, and welcome to another edition of my My Little Pony Vlogs for Season 2. Today I am talking about Hearts and Hooves Day, written by Megan McCarthy. This episode is a struggle to watch, and that's just being honest. The reason why I say this episode is a struggle to watch because it encompasses a few things I don't like in this show. I mean, everyone knows I'm not much of a shipper. I'm not a person who's into shipping or anything like that, and I'm not into romance or anything like that. Like, I'm not a huge fan of romance either, so this episode encompasses the two things I don't like. And lucky for me, it pisses off quite a few other people who are also, like, it pisses off the shippers in many aspects, while it also pisses off the people who are into romance. But enough dawdling. Let's get into it. The episode starts with basically the CMCs making this heart for this, basically, Valentine's Day holiday known as Hearts and Hooves Day. So basically they make this gigantic heart, and then they bring it to class, basically giving it to their teacher, Cheer Lee. After Cheer Lee gets it, she says how grateful she is and she really likes it. And Sweetie Belle then says, like, I'm sure it's nothing compared to what you'll receive from your very special sun pony. And then Cheer Lee admits that she does not have a very special sun pony, aka boyfriend. So the CMCs have this crazy idea, and it's really, really stupid. They want to try to find a stallion to get together with Cheer Lee. Well, we already know this is going to piss off the shippers. So as we go through the episode, as we go through this, we go through this song that they decide to sing called The Perfect Stallion. As you know, guys, songs do not factor into my overall enjoyment of the episode. And this song being about, you know, romance and stuff like that. So at the end of the song, they decide to go with Big Mac, and they want Big Mac to get together with Cheer Lee. So, but then Appleblossom says, Big Mac's kind of shy. He's not really going to do that. And Sweetie Belle comes up with the stupidest plan again, which is basically put them both in a romantic setting, and maybe they'll ask each other. I know a lot of people are about to say, oh, the CMCs are being idiots again. They're kids. Kids will do this. I'm just being honest, guys. There are kids that would do this, where they feel like that their mother or their sister need to get together with this boy that they met or something like that, and they feel like that they would be the perfect match. That's happened, and that's actually been a topic in many movies and stuff like that in the early 90s and stuff. So it's not uncommon for kids wanting to come up with a plan like this, because to them this probably is a great plan, but in hindsight it's a terrible plan. So of course we go through the episode and we go through this scene of Cheer Lee and Big Mac talking to each other in this awkward scene, and luckily it doesn't go the way that I thought it was going to go, and they don't get together. But this does come up to one funny scene where Cheer Lee looked like she was about to ask Big Mac to be her very special sun pony, and then he says he got something stuck in his teeth, and then you got Sweetie Belle with this reaction.
Oh, come on!
I mean, I don't know what's funnier, the fact that she screamed that, or the distance that she screamed that from, or the location. I mean, that's how you do timing, location, and otherwise properly. If there's one thing I can give Hearts and Hooves Day, at least, it's funny. Hearts and Hooves Day has good comedy and great humor at times. So I'm at least willing to give it that it is a funny episode. So the CMCs leave, and then they bump into Twilight, and they find out from Twilight that this holiday was started from a love potion. So the CMCs take the book, which supposedly has the recipe for the love potion, and they decide to make the recipe, and they decide to make the love potion. Here's the interesting thing. The love potion is made out of Pegasus items, because think about it. Cloud, a rainbow's glow, and a Pegasus feather. That's all Pegasus items. This kind of gives a little more weight to Cadence being, the Princess of Love or anything like that. But I'm going to get into that when I get to the season 2 finale. But anyways, back on topic. They make the potion and they invite Shirley and Big Mac to get together again, and of course they go hide. And this is one thing I will give. Shirley and Big Mac aren't idiots. Shirley actually connects the dots together, basically saying like, I told them I don't have a very special sun pony, and I'm guessing they think you should be my very special sun pony. And they both kind of laugh it off a little bit, and then they decide, let's humor the CMCs and drink this punch. Bad idea, because once they drink the punch, that's when they go googly eyes for each other, and that's when we get to the insufferable part of the episode, the baby talk. Oh god, the baby talk. The baby talk lasts so long in this episode that it's downright annoying. But I can let this go in some instances. I know you're about to say, the CMCs were known in Showstoppers, why aren't you panning them for being idiots here? They're not in their right mindset, if you think about it. Shirley and Big Mac are not on the right mindset. They're under the influence of a love potion. They are not in the same mindset. The CMCs in Showstopper were in their mindset, and because of that, they were idiots. Here, Shirley and Big Mac are insufferable idiots because of a potion. Can you really penalize the episode for that? And yes, I know, intentionally annoying is patronizing. I won't lie on that front. It is. This is still freaking patronizing. But I'm not going to hurt it as badly as I did Showstoppers. So they find out from the book that this wasn't a love potion. It was a love poison. So they find out that this potion makes the prince and the princess go googly eyes for each other to the point that they couldn't complete their royal duties. Apple comes up with this crazy scenario where if they don't, fix this, Big Mac won't be able to buck apples and Shirley won't be able to be a teacher. And it would be chaos. I can maybe see it. Maybe. But they find out there is a cure. Basically what they have to do is they have to prevent them from looking at each other's eyes for 1 hour. So they decide to try to find a way to split them apart. And then Sweetie Belle gets another idea. How many ideas has Sweetie Belle had? 3 of them? I think you're all noticing something. Sweetie Belle is the planning person of the group. Every member of the group has like a certain characteristic. Like you have like the plans person, you have the leader of the group, you have the sporadic, and like other stuff like that. Sweetie Belle is the idea person of the group, or here, idea pony. And if you notice, half to all of the ideas that the CMCs have are her idea. If you really think about it. I mean, the CMCs were constructed thanks to her idea. So they had this idea to make Big Mac and Shirley, give them the idea of getting married to each other, and hopefully the preparation would split them apart for about an hour. So they split off from each other and try to prevent Shirley and Big Mac from seeing each other. So, of course, we go through the hijinks of Apple Bloom and Scootaloo trying to keep Big Mac from Shirley, and Sweetie Belle trying to keep Shirley from Big Mac. And we go through different kinds of insanity, from Big Mac pulling a house, Shirley breaking down a door, Big Mac falling in a hole that somehow Scootaloo and Sweetie Belle dug, and then finally it ending as the hour ended and they actually did it. Like, they're no longer into each other like that. Of course, we get the moral of the episode where, like, even though they had the best intentions, they should have never have meddled in their relationships. That's a mature moral. Think about it. That's a very mature moral. That's a moral that kids need to learn because, like I said, kids are prone to do this. Kids are prone to do this, to try to hook you up with someone else because they feel like you would be the perfect match. Especially your own kids. Get me? Like, especially your own kids would be willing to do this. Like, your own kids or your own siblings. They would be one of the few to do this, being like, oh, my sister would be perfect with this guy, and try to get them together. Like, that's a common thing. I do love the moral. The moral is very mature. I can give the episode points for that. But now I have to take points away from the episode because the CMCs get punished regardless. Can I ask something? The point of punishment is to teach a lesson. The CMCs have already learned their lesson. So what's the point of punishing them? again. Like, what's the point of punishing them if they've already learned their lesson? It's like, it's like my kid drew on the wall and, like, I scolded him for it. And he said, I'm sorry, I'll never do it again, learning his lesson. And I said, well, you'll have plenty of time to learn that lesson because you're going to be grounded for 2 weeks. How is that supposed to teach the lesson if he already learned his lesson? Just saying, guys, I don't like the idea of punishing characters after they've already learned their lesson. It does not add anything. It's just adding insult to injury, pouring salt on the wound. But then again, I wouldn't know because I don't have a kid. I only have a nephew, so maybe I don't know what I'm talking about. But then the episode ends with the idea of Cheerly and Big Mac that they might still be into each other. And it's been hinted that they might still be into each other in later episodes. But I'm not getting into that because I'm not into shipping. And that's really all I have to say about Hearts and Hooves Day. This episode I really don't like. I mean, I really don't like this episode in many ways because, like I said, not a fan of shipping, not a fan of romance, and the story just kind of drags. The story just kind of drags at times. It's kind of like, it doesn't go anywhere. It's like the episode stays in like this one sandbox. That's where the episode stays. Whereas other episodes at least leave the sandbox and go elsewhere. This one just kind of stays in the sandbox and doesn't know where to go at this point. But it's not a bad episode. Like Mysterious Mr. Hunter said, structurally, the episode is sound. Story-wise, it is sound in many cases. Moral-wise, it's really good. And humor-wise, I think it's good. So, personally, I don't like this episode. But, if I had to think about this episode as a reviewer/analyst, not a vlogger, it's structurally sound. This episode is structurally sound. It's in the middle. Would I ever watch this episode again? No. I would never watch this episode again. I'll admit that this episode is sound, but keep it as far away from me as possible. It's the same thing with Sailor Moon the Nostalgia Critic. It's fine. Just keep me as far away as possible from it. And that's really all I have to say about this episode. So until next time, guys, I'm Keen47, aka Wolfkeen. Hope you enjoyed, and until next time, guys, take care.